Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping straight into the absolute meat grinder that is the Irondale Coliseum. We're going to break down Sunny's survival trial. It's this incredibly intense, psychologically complex test of wit. We really get to see exactly how someone navigates a rigged game that is quite literally meant to end in their death. And that brings us to the really profound question driving this entire explainer. How do you win a rigged death game without losing your humanity? It's one thing to survive by becoming a monster yourself. It's quite another to survive while holding on to your compassion. As we go through this, we're going to break down a battle that's honestly just as much about morality as it is about moment-to-moment tactics. The pacing of this trial is absolutely relentless. Picture this, the darkness slowly surrendering to consciousness. Sunny wakes up on a cold stone floor, her body still aching from previous battles, locked behind iron bars. Silent Dwarger guards are just staring her down. There's no grand exposition, no here are the rules. A guard simply says, it is time. She's suddenly thrust from a cold cell directly into the arena as this massive gong echoes throughout Arundel. The hunt had begun. Now, I want you to look at Sunny's specific tactical choices here before entering the arena. The guards lead her to an armory filled with axes, swords, spears, polished shields, weapons meant for heavy-duty warriors. But Sunny completely ignores the heavy steel. Instead, she equips a familiar set of studded leather armor, a war knapsack, and, get this, most surprisingly, an old leather-wrapped slingshot sitting quietly in the corner. It's a totally unassuming weapon, but as we'll see, it's the exact tool she needs. Let's move into the arena itself, because this brilliantly illustrates the bizarre nature of Irondale. The great doors groan open, and Sunny isn't greeted by your standard sandy gladiatorial pit. No way! She walks into this eerie, bioluminescent nightmare. Brilliant violet crystals are suspended high above, bathing the whole Colosseum in twilight. The battlefield is actually a towering fungal forest, with giant mushrooms stretching all the way to the cavern ceiling. And strangely enough, there are two weathered buildings right in the middle of it, a lonely cabin and an abandoned schoolhouse. It's gorgeous, for sure, but terrifyingly unpredictable. And then the gate across the arena opens. Out steps this massive creature, carried effortlessly across the sand by 6 powerful legs. Trailing behind it are 2 swaying tentacles. It sweeps the arena with emerald eyes, sniffing the ground. Every instinct inside Sunny is screaming that this thing is a hunter. It's a classic, terrifying displacer beast, literally perfectly evolved to track and kill. So what do? How do you fight a perfect hunter when all you've got is a slingshot? Well, you don't. Sunny immediately relies on her magical expertise rather than brute force. Without a second's hesitation, she whispers the ancient words to cast Pass Without Trace. This magic allows the user to embrace the shadows, completely masking their presence. In a blink, she simply vanishes from the beast's sight. This right here is an absolute masterclass in survival, prioritizing evasion and reconnaissance over immediate confrontation. So the crucial point is what she actually does with that invisibility. Like a ghost, she moves through the arena over the next 15 minutes, meticulously scavenging and turning an environment that's meant to kill her into an arsenal. She finds an oil-filled basin and a sack of marbles, and she soaks those marbles in oil. She finds a whip in the dusty schoolhouse. She locates a hidden cache with flint and torches. And finally, in the cabin, she finds shelves of preserved food, apples, sardines, jerky, and a perfectly fitting, lightly enchanted brown hat. She is methodically stacking the deck in her favor. But hey, her opponent is just as tactical. Sunny tries to lure the beast away to clear her path, right? She casts an incantation to create a sudden noise across the arena. The first time, it works. The beast races toward the sound. But when she tries it again, the beast doesn't just run. It disappears. No sound, no warning, just gone. The suspense here is phenomenal because Sunny realizes her primary advantage, stealth, is something the monster might actually be better at. This leads to a seriously heart-stopping ambush. Unease settles into Sunny's chest as she carefully climbs the stone staircase. Each step is measured, super quiet. But as she reaches the top, a low purring growl greets her. The beast isn't across the arena. It's crouching only feet away. It's ready. It's waiting, perfectly prepared to strike. Now, at this exact moment, almost any other warrior would have drawn their weapon and fought to the bitter end. But here is the ultimate narrative pivot of this entire trial. Instead of drawing that slingshot or whip, Sunny uses a completely different kind of magic. Speak with animals. This is a gentle flow of magic that allows verbal communication with beasts.
She slowly pulls out one of those sardines she scavenged from the cabin, looks at this terrifying six-legged killing machine, and whispers, "Hey, buddy, are you hungry?"
And the creature actually answers her. Just let the emotional weight of this response sink in. The beast stares at her and says, "Hungrier than you can imagine." It gently accepts the fish. No claws, no violence. There is only this profound, desperate hunger. This massive, terrifying predator is suddenly reduced to a starving animal, just begging for a meal. Which brings us to the tragic truth of the Irondale trial. The crowd paid to see a vicious, bloodthirsty monster motivated by pure malice. But the reality? Sunny discovers that it's really just a desperate animal acting on instinct. It didn't want blood, it wanted food. The Duergar captors had deliberately, cruelly starved this magnificent creature just to guarantee it would hunt for their sick entertainment. And this brilliantly illustrates the central theme of this whole event. We see a stark contrast here. On one side, the cold, mechanical cruelty of the Duergar captors, rigging a death game by deliberately starving an animal. On the other, Sunny's unyielding compassion. She leads this great hunter back to the cabin where it devours jars of apples and sardines with desperate abandon. In a game designed to strip away her humanity, Sunny's empathy becomes her absolute greatest act of rebellion.
But Sunny isn't just going to quietly feed the beast and wait. No way. She climbs back up the staircase and lights the massive oil basin, illuminating a private VIP balcony overlooking the arena. And here is who she sees watching her. The enemy commanders. General Durog, Chief Scientist Snikrik, Tamakti, High General Thraskau, and standing right there, clad in dark plate armor bearing the purple eye, is Talonor. The people responsible for this cruelty are sitting comfortably above the fray.
So what does Sunny do? She locks eyes with Talonor. She doesn't yell. She doesn't panic. She calmly loads a single, unlit marble into that unassuming old slingshot she picked from the armory. She fires. The stone screams right past Talonor's head and strikes the wall behind him. This wasn't an attack. It was a profound statement of fearless defiance, saying, "I'm here and I see you." Then, the tactical genius of Sunny's plan truly unfolds. She looks at the beast and says softly, "They want me to kill you, but I have another idea." She takes one of those oil-soaked marbles she prepped earlier, lights it with her flint, draws back the slingshot, and fires the burning projectile squarely into a Duergar spectator in the stands. Flames erupt, the crowd panics, and the beast, hearing the screams and smelling the fear, has its predator instincts triggered, but definitely not towards Sunny. With one tremendous leap, the beast clears the arena wall. The cruel entertainment is instantly turned back on the spectators themselves. The crowd scatters in absolute terror as the starving predator tears into the nearest guards. Screams literally echo through the Colosseum. Sunny has successfully spared herself from having to duel the beast, completely flipping the script and plunging the Irondale arena into unbridled chaos. But tragically, this is Irondale. The chaos doesn't last. The whistles blow. Dozens of Duergar spears rain down from every single direction, one after another after another. The forest of steel pierces the magnificent creature until it finally collapses into the stands. Silence abruptly returns to the bloody Colosseum. The aftermath is incredibly somber. Sunny never celebrates. She just stands there, heartbroken. The guards return and silently confiscate everything she brilliantly scavenged. Her slingshot, her whip, her enchanted hat, her knapsack. She's escorted back beneath the arena, back into the darkness of her cell, and as she sits there, the cheers of Anderdale continue long into the night, celebrating a spectacle of death. But Sunny only hears the final cry of a creature that never wanted to hunt. It only wanted to eat. Which leaves us with this final, lingering thought. Sunny survived. She technically won the trial, but at what moral cost to the world around her? She maintained her humanity, yes, but she was still forced to participate in a system that ended in the tragic death of an innocent creature. It's a haunting reminder of the cost of survival in a world as dark as Irondale. What do you take away from Sunny's choice? Think about that for a minute, and we'll see you in the next explainer.